Thank you for joining Career Services with Building Winning Resumes. This workshop supports the UCF wellness pillars of engagement, the act of participating in the learning environment, and purpose, the process of deriving meaning, direction, and fulfillment as an individual. For this presentation, we will review the following: formatting and appearance, the sections of your resume, and the electronic resume. The two essential aspects to creating an effective resume are formatting and content. You need both to work in your favor to stand out from your competition. Your content, or your message, needs to match the employer's needs and address your ability to do the job for which you are applying. You can have the absolute best content, but if your resume is not inviting to read, your message will not get read. Your resume may be put in the discard pile because of its appearance alone. As you will likely be seeking entry-level positions in your field and are current or recent college graduates, Career Services suggests the following order for your resume sections: heading, your contact information; objective, education, skills or qualifications, experience, and any additional components. As you progress in your career field, the order of the headings after the objective statement can and likely will change. Employers look at your resume for an average of 15 to 30 seconds. To this end, your resume should be clear, concise, and easy to read. Generally, your resume should not exceed 1 page unless you have extensive experience or graduate work. Further elaboration of your experience would be more appropriate for the accompanying cover letter or during the interview. Leave margins from 1/2 to 1 inch size and equal on all sides. Ensure that you have a nice balance between type and white space on the page. Standard fonts such as Times New Roman or Arial are recommended. Font size should be between 10 and 12 points. Consistency is key. When using bullets, underlining, bold, italics, or indentation, make sure they are done consistently throughout the document. When turning your resume in person at networking events, at the interview, or at conferences, or any other type of recruiting activity, be sure to print your resume on white or beige high-quality resume paper, which has a heavier weight and a higher bond than regular copy paper. This gives it a polished and professional look and feel to your document. The first component of the resume is the heading. The heading contains your contact information. It should appear prominently at the top of the page. Your name should stand out the most. Use a large, bold font. When listing your mailing address, make sure to include a permanent address in addition to your school address if you anticipate being away during breaks. Be sure to include your zip code with your mailing address. Consider the impression you wish to convey by having an appropriate and professional email address. In addition, your voicemail may be the first contact a potential employer has with you. Ensure that it reflects the impression you wish to communicate in your job search. Be sure to include your area code when listing your phone number as well. Here are some examples of ways to set up a heading on your resume. Pay attention to the vertical spaces you use on your resume. For example, Mike Jones uses 5 vertical spaces, whereas Susan Williams uses 6, and Chris Smith uses 2 vertical spaces. Vertical spacing, format, and font size all contribute to the length of your resume. The objective usually is found at the top of the resume underneath the contact information. Your objective should be short, concise, specific, and should target the type of employment you seek. Try to keep it to 10 words or less and indicate the type of position you are seeking. Specialized skills related to the position that you possess, as well as your preferred work environment. The objective sets the tone for your resume, and everything following the objective should serve to support it. Here are some examples of possible objectives. Note that the specific focus on jobs, work environment, and type of employer are present. Also, objective statements, like the rest of your resume, are not written in first person, and therefore should begin with to obtain or seeking. For example, to obtain a management training internship in a community service agency leading to a career in service to the public. Or seeking a paralegal position with the opportunity to conduct title searches and other research. To obtain a part-time legal assistant position with a law firm focusing on environmental issues. Seeking a tax professional position with a national accounting firm utilizing analytical and problem-solving skills. Similarly to objectives, the Summary of Qualifications section can be found at the top of your resume. It serves as a table of contents, per se, to your resume, and as such, it should be appealing to employers. By listing your best accomplishments and a quick list of any required hard skills, it will paint a picture of the type of candidate you are. Summaries are not always found on business resumes and are typically seen in industries such as higher education or public service. This section is optional, and it is subjectives. Some recruiters like it and some don't. It's your choice. If you choose to do it, don't use fluff. It should be tailored and focused. They should highlight key skills and accomplishments, a description of your relevant functional skill set tailored to the position you are seeking, and also using keywords related to the field or industry, certain lingo, using key terms from the job description, or highlighting values or characteristics from the company website or social media. As you apply for internships or entry-level positions, one of your key credentials is your UCF education. So this information should appear next on your resume. The education section will include information about the college or colleges attended, which degree was obtained or will be obtained, anticipated or actual date of graduation, and details about your academic program of study, including GPA if it's 3.0 or higher. When lacking significant experience, one way to convey knowledge and skills obtained is through listing relevant coursework. When listing courses, be certain not to provide a laundry list of courses. Instead, choose those that are most relevant to the position for which you are applying. Education, like experience, is a chronological component of your resume. Be sure to list in reverse chronological order, which means most recent to oldest, and include the names of each school, location, city and state, what degree and major or minor you were enrolled in, and when you did or expect to graduate. As you progress in your career, the education section may move from the second area on your resume because it is most likely not one of your most recent accomplishments. At this point at UCF, you do not need to include high school information on your resume unless you have a very compelling reason. Also, you may decide not to have your community college experience on your resume unless it will dramatically benefit you to include it. The following are examples of the education section. Remember, you have formatting options in how you display your information. Use the style that you like best, but make sure it is easy to read. And again, at this point, it is not necessary to include your high school unless you are a freshman. If using a future date, your anticipated graduation date, and it changes, be sure to update the date change on your resume and be prepared to discuss this with an employer. Notice here is where we begin to use bolding, italics, indentation, spacing. For these samples, the date, city, and state are pulled out and separated on the right side of your resume, and the content is pulled out on the left. This will allow employers to read down the left margin and see what you've been doing, and read down the right margin and see when and where. For our first example, the school name is bolded with the degree in italics. In the second example, the school name is italics and the degree is bolded. Either way is correct as long as it is consistent. If you bold one school name, make sure all school names and employer names are bolded, and job titles and degree types would be italics, or vice versa. If you italics the school name, be sure to bold the degree type, and same for employer information. It is important to have a matching, consistent style throughout your resume. Also note that you can use a variety of date formats for your resume, as long as you pick one and stick with it. You may choose to spell out the month entirely, or you may choose to abbreviate the month with the first 3 letters. Or you can use a 2-digit month and 4-digit year format. Either way is correct as long as you pick one way and stick with it for your whole resume. Ideally, the largest section of your resume will be the experience section. There are a number of ways to present information about your experience. Do include all relevant experience, such as employment through full-time or part-time jobs, internships, co-ops, summer jobs, volunteer and service learning experience, and on-campus activities. Remember that projects and academic research can also showcase your skills and may be included in this section. You may decide to have 2 experience sections on your resume, one for relevant experience and another for experience that may not support your current job objective. Should you include unrelated experience? It depends. If you have some related experience to focus on, then you may not need to include the other experiences. On the other hand, if you don't have much work experience, include all that you have. In the least, it conveys to an employer that you are employable and you know what's expected in the workplace. All experiences can teach you transferable and related skills that you can take with you into your next role, even if that next role is not related to your work history. When listing your experience, utilize the following guidelines. List your experiences in reverse chronological order, beginning with the most recent experience first. For each experience, provide the title of your position, the name of the organization, the city and the state, and the dates you are employed, or current date to present if still employed. When describing your job responsibilities, make sure to use bullets and start each bullet with a strong action verb. You may have had numerous responsibilities or multiple successes, so be certain to prioritize your bullets. Again, here we notice formatting in play with use of bolding, spacing, italics. Looking back to your education section, did you bold the school or did you bold the degree? We want to follow the same type of format for your experience. Schools and employer names are similar, so they choose the same formatting style. Degrees and job titles are similar, so choose the same formatting style. Strong bullets that start with action verbs, such as assist, present, provide, identified, reviewed, maintained. Strong action verbs give clues as far as the skill or competency being discussed in the bullet statement. With spacing, we want to pull those city and states and dates out along the right margin, similar to education. And again, choose a consistent format for your date. With bullets, be sure to again use a consistent style. For example, ending your bullets with a period. You can end them with a period, or you do not have to end them with a period. You just want a same style for all of your bullets. So choose one way and stick with it. And remember verb tense agreement. For jobs that you are currently doing, your verb should be present tense. For jobs that you are no longer doing, your bullets should be past tense. Don't forget to highlight any on-campus experiences through additional components on your resume. Getting involved with student clubs or campus organizations with leadership roles demonstrate key skills desired by employers, such as communication, teamwork, equity and inclusion, and taking initiative. You may also highlight any relevant accomplishments with honors received or awards and scholarships earned. Additionally, professional memberships can reveal relevant experiences in industry networking, and military, ROTC, or athletic experience are absolutely relevant to the workplace, as they showcase leadership, working towards common goals, conflict management, and a host of other qualities. Here are some examples of how to format these additional components. They will vary from person to person. They can be a simple list format or supported with strong bullet statements. The skills section of a resume is what students have a lot of trouble understanding. There's a difference between hard skills and soft skills. A resume skills section is comprised of your hard skills. Hard skills are tools you can use immediately and effectively. Common examples are languages, computer softwares, and any certifications earned. You may choose to elaborate upon them in a bullet point. Soft skills are qualities you prove over time. You must give concrete examples, and they are best used within bullet points in a summary of qualifications section, like we reviewed earlier. When submitting your documents online, PDF is the preferred format for saving and submitting resumes and cover letters. Always include your name when saving your documents, i.e. sandrasmithresume.pdf or sandrasmith_coverletter_enterprise.pdf. Be sure to send a newly saved PDF file every time, as PDFs will corrupt over time through repeated use. Resumes that you post online, publicly where anyone can view, be sure to limit personal information and only include your email and city and state. And your email should be the only way to contact you. Keyword loading is important because these are the terms that employers use to search for candidates like you. So be sure to include relevant strengths, keywords, phrases, skills, terms, technologies that relate to the job or industry you are seeking. Thanks again for joining us. We hope that you found this presentation helpful in learning about how to write a winning resume, as well as discovering new ways to gain experiences at UCF to help you stand out by the time you graduate. Please reach out to Career Services with any questions at career@ucf.edu or 407-823-2361. You can also find us on social media and follow us for updates and shared resources. Go Knights!